Ever had one of those days where everything feels too much? Like your emotions are in the driver's seat and you're just hanging on for dear life. One moment, you're fine, then the next you're spiraling, snapping at someone you care about, or crying in the bathroom, and you don't even know why. That's what life can feel like without emotional regulation. You say things you regret, you overthink, you shut down, you feel helpless against your own emotions. But it doesn't have to stay that way. If you've ever felt out of control emotionally, too intense, too reactive, too sensitive, this video is for you. What if your emotions didn't control you, but guided you? Because when you learn to regulate your emotions, it changes everything, not just how you feel, but how your brain works, how you see the world, how you handle stress, and even how your relationships flow. So let's break this down. What happens when you learn to regulate your emotions? Well, first up, your brain actually rewires itself. Ever heard of the concept neuroplasticity? Basically, science tells us that your brain is not a fixed machine. It learns, adapts, and physically changes based on what you practice. When you're constantly reacting to everything, snapping, freezing, or shutting down, your amygdala, aka your brain's alarm system, gets super good at going off. It learns to yell danger at every little thing that's new, sudden, or out of your control. But when you start practicing emotional regulation, you teach your brain a new pattern. You begin building stronger connections between your prefrontal cortex, the wise, rational part of your brain, and your limbic system, the emotional part. That means over time, you're literally building a stronger bridge between emotion and logic. You also start responding instead of reacting. Ever sent a long text rant you immediately regretted? Or said something in the heat of the moment that made things worse? When your emotions take control, you react without thinking and just clean up the mess afterward. But one of the biggest shifts you'll notice when you learn emotional regulation is that you pause, and that pause is powerful. It might only last a few seconds, but in those seconds, your brain gets a chance to choose instead of explode. You start noticing when you're about to snap, shut down, or spiral, and instead of acting on autopilot, you take a breath and consider, what am I really feeling right now? What do I actually want to happen here? You start to separate yourself from the emotion. Conflicts don't escalate so fast, and you stop making impulsive decisions you later regret. Stress won't own you anymore. When you're emotionally dysregulated, even tiny stressors can feel like the world is ending. A late reply, a messed up to-do list, a passing criticism from a stranger. But as you develop emotional regulation, your nervous system starts to settle. You're not constantly in fight, flight, or freeze mode. You're not suppressing emotions, but understanding them better. You begin to realize this feeling is valid, but it won't last forever. I can handle this, and that realization is everything. Relationships become way less chaotic. Being emotionally overwhelmed doesn't just affect you, it spills into your relationships. You might feel misunderstood, oversensitive, or like people are walking on eggshells around you. Or maybe you're the one who feels like you're walking on eggshells, or walking away mid-argument because everything just feels too much. When you regulate your emotions, conversations become clearer, boundaries feel more doable, and you stop assigning meaning to every little shift in someone's tone. People aren't the enemy anymore, and neither are your feelings. You learn to say things like, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. Can we talk in a little bit? Or even just, that hurt, but I know it's not the end of the world. You start trusting yourself. When your emotions feel like wildfires, it's hard to trust yourself. You might feel like you're constantly messing things up, apologizing too much, or regretting how you reacted. But once you start regulating your emotions, you begin to build a sense of emotional safety within yourself. You stop being afraid of your own reactions. You know you can handle the highs and the lows. You know you can feel intense things and still make wise choices. But how do you regulate your emotions? Emotion regulation is not some magical personality trait only a few are gifted with. It's a skill, one that your brain wants to learn and that you can absolutely build. Here are some psychology-backed strategies. 1. Name the emotion, then validate it. It's not enough to just label the emotion. You also have to tell yourself it makes sense. In dialectical behavioral therapy, it's called self-validation. I'm feeling angry because I felt ignored. That's a valid response. Validation doesn't mean you agree with the emotion or want to stay stuck in it. It just means you acknowledge that it exists and has a reason. The brain calms down when it feels understood, even by yourself. 2. Check the facts. Our emotions often skyrocket based on stories we tell ourselves. They hate me, or I ruined everything. In DBT, check the facts means separating feelings from facts. Is there evidence for the thought you're having? If not, you can shift the emotional intensity. Cognitive behavioral therapy teaches similar cognitive restructuring skills. Challenge the thought, don't just react to it. 3. Use the wise mind skill. Imagine 3 parts of your mind. The emotional mind, ruled by feelings. The rational mind, focused only on logic. And the wise mind, the calm blend of both. The goal isn't to shut down your feelings or overanalyze everything. It's to step back and ask, what feels true and is also effective right now? This helps you make grounded choices under pressure. 4. Reframe, don't rewrite. In CBT, cognitive reappraisal means changing the meaning of a situation, not denying it, but reviewing it through a different lens. For example, instead of, I embarrassed myself, try, I learned something about what triggers me. Neuroscience shows this technique lowers amygdala activation and helps regulate emotional reactivity long-term. 5. Opposite action. Feel like isolating when you're sad? Do the opposite. DBT teaches that while emotions drive behavior, behavior can also shift emotions. Doing what the emotion doesn't want you to do, like reaching out instead of withdrawing, disrupts the cycle. Your brain learns new associations when you act opposite to urges rooted in distress. 6. Track your window of tolerance. You're not meant to be calm all the time, but staying within your window of tolerance helps you think clearly. This is a concept from trauma-informed therapy. Too overwhelmed? You might be in hyperarousal, panic, anger. Too numb or checked out? That's hypoarousal, shutdown, freeze. Therapists often teach clients to identify when they're outside their window and use grounding, movement, or support to return to center. And set emotion goals. Acceptance and commitment therapy teaches that the goal isn't to eliminate tough emotions, it's to live according to your values even when emotions show up. So ask, if I weren't feeling this way, what would I want to do right now? Then do a small version of that. This rewires the brain for psychological flexibility, which is linked to lower anxiety and depression. Therapists don't give these tools just to help you feel good. These practices change brain pathways, improve nervous system regulation, and help you live with more clarity and control. You don't have to get it right overnight, but every time you make an active choice to self-regulate, you're becoming a better version of yourself. So tell me, what's one emotion you wish you understood better? And what do you think it's trying to teach you? If this resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more grounded, real talk psychology content. Someone out there needs this reminder too, so send this video their way. We also have videos on 7 signs you're ignoring your emotional needs and are your suppressed feelings secretly harming you? Thanks for watching. See you soon.